Hello, this is Adam Borst, and I volunteer at Queen City. And this is going to be a quick little demonstration on how Queen City Church in Cincinnati uses Vista. So this is our desktop. What we do is we go to shows. We have the Vista3 software installed. We save our shows here. We update the master as we work on them, and then archive shows here. So let's just open one, the one I'm working on. So what we do is we receive a list from Services app. We receive the order. We see All My Delight, No One Beside, All Hail King Jesus, and then some other information. So from this, I can tell who the lead is, so who needs to have the spotlight, the face light's brightest. We can see who's up on the stage. Sometimes there's 5, and then the songs. I usually write that on this notepad here just to keep track. So I'll close that. So we've opened up Vista3. What we can see here is the cue list. So the cue list here has been mapped out to look exactly like how our stage looks. So if we go to this cue, we have our stage lights that I would call them like our down lights. They're up in the ceiling, and then they shine down onto the stage. There's 2 behind one curtain here, and then there's 4 in the front curtain, and they just kind of shine downwards. These are our LEDs. They are just in the back, and they make everything look hip and fun. These are our movers. We have 4 movers. We have 6 uplights. These are our face lights. This is our hazer. We can control our haze. We usually leave it at 100% and then control it through the board. And then here we have house lights that we can change color and stuff, but we don't really touch that much. So I do want to mention again that this is our software that we use, and then we hook it up to a board, a physical, I think it might be a Vista3 board. And I might get some pictures to whoever's interested on that. And we are able to control things in this next pad. It resembles that board. So in this console pad, they call it, you can see all the different knobs that the board will replicate. So for example, this says AM haze. So we can actually move this up and down to control the haze. Right now, 0% means like 100%, and then it subtracts percentage. So negative 100% is 0 haze. We also have uplights, movers. We can change the way they look, face lights if they're too bright. On the fly. If I'm being honest, I don't use these much because it's like all or nothing. So like all the face lights will go down, or like the movers. I think this might even be positioning. So we haven't really found a great way to optimize this section here where we can have presets of the settings. Up here is our cue list. We do use this a lot. So this is where we line up our cues. So it'll match what we have on services. We have a pre-service, 3 songs, a welcome, a countdown, message, things like that. And we have cues dedicated to that over here to the right in the blue. And we just drag All My Delight over. You can put it in these slots, put it over there. You can clear it, obviously. And that's where we kind of set up our list. So now what we do is on the board, we can select this, and it'll go to that cue list here. See how it's snapped to pre-service? If I go back to here, it'll snap back to All My Delight, so we can kind of see the live update here. And so let's say we go here. What we do is usually push this, and then we push play, and then it'll transition through, and then we go to the next one, play, next one, play. That's kind of what we teach, right? And things with that, whenever we are done like programming things, we usually tell people to all the way always go to the 0, like the first one, and then like push this back button and the skip back to start of cue list, so that whenever we push start, it'll do the first one again. So I'm just going through some things. You guys probably know a lot of this, maybe not, but this is how we use it. So I get those songs, right? And basically what we've done is we started building a cue list section. So in this top part here, this is edit. We can actually select a cue list with that name. So All My Delight, and then it pulls it up. So, and then it pulls up the cue list for that, and that's how we're like saving and adding to our list of songs. So we don't have to change them every single time. I don't think we need that one for this. Oh, yeah, we do. That is part of the cue list. So, I mean, I don't really know what else to say. So let's get into kind of the editing of the lights. So we can make a new cue list here. So basically what we know how to do is we can select, let's say, the back LEDs. We can change the color. We can use control to change the transitions of colors. We can hold shift to move the whole box over. We can undo. We can click here and change the color. And let's say instead we want to do like less intensity. We can do this. There's also knobs on here that some people use to control like rate of the intensity and like position. I haven't been able to get to figure this stuff out either, so maybe that's something we can work on. But yeah, so we would change intensity here. We have position here, but let's look at our movers. So our movers can do position. So if I take this right one and I move it this way, it's actually going into the crowd's face, so it's going more horizontal. If I'm doing this, then it's going up into the sky, up to the ceiling. It has like 4 little quadrants. We try to keep them all in the same quadrant. Now let me undo that. Other things, so let's select them all right now. It seems like it's moving. It seems like it's moving slowly. Yeah, circle small is our effect, so let me just delete that effect. So we can go new effect. We know how to do some position, color mix stuff. We can do some color mix. We can usually just change the rate to make it slower, change the size to make it like less colors involved, so it's more like a blue green right now, and if we want like a red, we'll move it over, kind of stuff like that. Things we do know is usually we would work with 2 screens. This would be the first screen, and then we click view external window 1, which is basically our presets and a cue list like quick window, I guess you could call it. So how do I find our presets? Oh, quicker picker. I think this is it. Yeah. So basically something like this, except more options, I think, in our secondary window when we're actually live. And we can just click circle M, which will do like all of them will move in a circle, like medium size. Circle F is circle far. I don't know if these are through Vista or if we created these, but yeah, pan goes horizontal, tilt goes up and down. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so we can do position and create that same effect down here. We can click circle. We can do a little loop. We can change the rate, the size. And that's really about it. So what we would do is we'd make new cues. So I usually just drag it over to make a new one. So this would be like in look. This would be like we usually just say like singer 1 or whatever in, and then we can change like I don't know why I did that, but then we can change this. You can bring it up, and let's say that's where that person's positioned. And then we can do like a band in look, and then we can do like a coarse look, and then it can get bigger and bigger. We can raise intensity, we can bring lights up, we can change colors maybe, and things like that. We know about the Q view and link. When you click link, it goes straight to it, so we don't want to have that during live. Q view is you can make changes, which right now it's, I don't know why it's showing all white, because it's clearly not all white. Kind of weird. Of course this happens. I don't know what's happening. Let's just go here. Okay, we'll just go here. So Q view, we can make a change here, so we can cut off all these lights, but it won't affect this, obviously. But then once we get there, all the lights should be off on the downlights, I guess you could call them. Let me undo that though, because I definitely want those on. Apart from that, I don't really know what these up down transitions mean. We can change the transition times. That's usually what I do. I don't really know what that means. We know about follow, how we use it sometimes where it'll raise up and then start moving, just kind of have some nice transition without us having to do anything. I don't really know what start or time code does. I know sometimes when I push Alt, some of these new features pop up. I don't touch any of those. Could make my life easier, but who knows. Control also pops up some stuff here. We never use that. So we know about, let me go back to my cue list. Okay, so we know about this fan start kind of option. So from start, you can actually zoom in. We'll zoom here. We can change the position. Okay, sorry, I'm using my mouse right now and it's not doing a great job. Okay, so if we want to select this side, right, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, and it goes all the way down. That's kind of start. If we change this, those numbers will change. So now 1 starts here, so it'll start from end, go up. From center, we see that it'll start from the center and move outwards once we make a new effect, or if we do like a color change, we'll do a color variance thing. Kind of something like that. I don't know. We know I'm still working with this sometimes. So sort kind of like position is usually what I click. Random only if I want to get crazy with it. ID, I don't use that much. Selection, odd, even. It's interesting. Seems like that would change them all. Okay. Not sure what that does. Split group, don't use too much. But yeah, that's kind of everything. Let me click the movers again. So this is like our intensity. We can move the position here. We can change the color. This is focus, so it becomes more like a laser beam all the way over here, and over here it's much more soft. And then some custom stuff, and that's kind of all seen here on all. Yeah, so then let's just look at the 5 sections up here again. This is our patch. Don't really touch anything there because they're all set up. I've worked with it a little bit before. This is our console view. This is our cue list view. I have no idea what this does. I don't touch it, but it looks like something with transitions. This is our cue view, which is duplicated into our second monitor with, again, our presets of our effects. And then that's blank. So I think that was a good kind of, so basically we wrap it up, we save it, and then we have, we plug it in the correct way we know how to do it, and it works. And yeah, but if there's any tips, thoughts, or anything like that, we appreciate it. Again, I'm Adam Borst, and thank you for listening.